Hello, everyone. We're live. Kevin at 11. It is Wednesday, November 26th. I hope you are doing well. We have important news to get to today. We're going to hide the vertical. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Important news to get to today. So just jump on in whenever you jump in. That'll be wonderful. A lot of stuff that involves one of the craziest stories that you will ever see. And we'll give you the details on that in a few seconds. All right, back to me. Here's the story. The story today involves a very wild affair. Now, this involves a lot of people who you might not be 100% familiar with, but we'll give you the details. We will run this down in a way that makes a lot of sense. Let me go ahead and triple share this on my Twitter as well. Dun, dun, dun. So this story today involves RFK Jr., obviously the United States Secretary of Health and Human Services. I think I've done a whole video before on how I feel about him, but that's not what today is about. You know, today's not about the chainsawing a beached whale, the bear carcass in Central Park. No, that is not. Today is about the seedy details of his love affair. Why? Who gives a crap? Why would you talk about this today, Kevin? These are all fair questions. But hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. RFK appears to have written a poem to his lover. Her name's Olivia Nutsey. We'll talk about Nutsey in a second. She's a former political journalist. And, we do know what was in that poem. But let's start from scratch here. There's a lot going on, and I think we need to first detail who these people are, why we're even talking about this. And the Ringer had a really good article today that kind of sums it up, but you can do some further investigative journalism if you'd like. Let me take a sip of my matcha. Tasty treat. So, who are these people? Number one, we have RFK Jr. You know who he is. He is Trump's health secretary. He's 71 years old, white male. Well, he's very tan. The son of the Democratic politician Robert F. Kennedy, who was assassinated while running for president in 1968. He's also the nephew of JFK, who was assassinated in, I believe, 1963, if I have my years correct. RFK ran for president in 2024, as you know. He was a Democrat, then he was an independent, and then he dropped out and endorsed Trump. His cousin, Caroline Kennedy, described him as addicted to attention and power. He now devotes his life to undoing decades of advances in public health. I'm reading that from the Ringer right there. Striking an unusual habit of getting into mishaps with exotic animal corpses, as we've detailed in the past. I did a whole video on this a while back, and it is about, hello, Preston, thanks for being here. It is about the chainsawing of the whale carcass. It is about the bear carcass that he left in Central Park, and it was a big mystery for many years. The video's wild. He's telling Roseanne about it in his kitchen. It's very strange. Oh, he's also got that brain worm. Well, he had one. The worm died. He killed it. Even the brain worm was like, I don't want to be around you. Let's talk to you about Olivia Nutsey. She's going to be another figure you're going to hear a lot about today. And maybe it's newsy. It's N-U-Z-Z-I. I would say nutsy because she sounds like she's nuts. Former New York Magazine political reporter. She currently is doing a thing for the Vanity Fair as their West Coast editor for now. She's 32, born on January 6th. You can't make it up, folks. She made her name covering Trump for the Daily Beast in 2016. She wrote entertaining profiles of national political figures. In 2018, Trump's campaign manager was a guy named Corey Lewandowski. Olivia Nutsey broke into his home office without permission. Not really punished, not that big of a deal. No one even cared anymore. Now I'm going to go ahead and say it. Happy birthday. So as this story is going on about Nutsey, let me show you a picture of Nutsey just so you know. She's young. She started in journalism at a very early age. Plenty of pictures of her doing work or acting like she's interested in stuff. Kind of giving a Laura Dern thing there. It's very, very weird. But Olivia Nutsey is someone you will be hearing from more about later. Also, let me say, before she became famous, she was in a relationship with former SportsCenter anchor Keith Olbermann, who went on to host a show at MSNBC. And more on that from her ex-fiance in a second, because we need to learn a little bit about her ex-fiance. Oh, I should also say one more thing about Olivia Nutsey. As a teen, she tried to go with the name Livy Nutsey, and she tried to launch a music career, and she released a MySpace song called Jailbait. And one of the lines says that she's got no shame. So just keep that in mind as we go forward. Now, the other guy that we need to take a look at is a guy by the name of Ryan Lizza. Not Lizzo, Ryan Lizza. He was also a journalist, but he, for a short while, was engaged to Olivia Nutsey. When Olivia Nutsey broke up with Keith Olbermann, she started dating Ryan Lizza. He's 51. He's a longtime political journalist. He's got his own Substack now, and we will get into that Substack shortly because it's nuts. He got dropped by the New Yorker in 2017 after some reports of sexual misconduct. Nothing specific, never found guilty on anything, but there were reports of it, and he was fired because of it. Just wanted you to know. Okay. So the details are going to continue to get weirder and wilder as we go on here. I should say that what happens at the end will be a little more confusing, I would say. A little more edgy towards the end. We'll get there. It's got to be good. Okay. So at the most basic level, here are the facts. In 2024, RFK Jr. had an affair with Olivia Nutsey, then a political writer for New York Magazine. Nutsey, who's 39 years younger than RFK Jr., met him while profiling him for a New York cover story in 2023. Now, at the time, again, Nutsey was engaged to Ryan Lizza. Lizza worked at Politico. Here's Ryan Lizza, just so you get a peek of what he looks like. I know you all know what RFK looks like, but there you go. There's Ryan Lizza. There he is with Olivia, hanging out. They were dating together for a long time. So you have that. No Nick Fuentes for president. Sorry. Get that stuff out of here, please. Yuck. Yeah. We're not going to do that today. So Olivia Nutsey, reportedly has that affair with RFK. You should also know through all of this, RFK Jr. is married to actress Cheryl Hines from Curb Your Enthusiasm. I guess for all the kids out there who don't know who she is, we should probably show you a picture of her because you might be like, oh, I've seen her on the Larry David Show. Maybe you haven't seen her or whatever. There we go. There's Cheryl Hines. Okay. So, moving on, we go to the next story. The Substack and the poem we will get to, not safe for work. Okay. So Olivia Nutsey is writing a book about this with her side of the story and also doing a big series about it for Vanity Fair. And the guy that got cheated on is like, whoa, 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 wait a second. I'm about to drop some heat in a Substack. His Substack is pretty wild. Now, I will tell you that New York Magazine fired Olivia Nutsey when news in 2024 when news of her affair with RFK Jr. became public, because you can't go do a profile on someone and then start sleeping with them. That would be violating journalistic integrity. More details have emerged over the years. You find out, well, this is a pretty big thing. It's got a lot of things involved in this. In fact, there's not one but two presidential candidates that she has reportedly slept with. This continues to go. So it's pretty wild. Man, this is crazy. Okay. So was she banished from journalism after the scandal broke? She was for like a year, but then Vanity Fair hired her, and she got a book deal. That book comes out on December 2nd. So let's go to Ryan Litz's Substack. Again, Ryan Litza, the guy who was dating Olivia Nutsey. Hell yeah, great band. Fun time, for sure. So Olivia Nutsey, I'm going to read you some of the Substack from Ryan Litza about Olivia, okay, who he was engaged to at the time and was living with. Olivia had just returned from a reporting trip. At least that's what she told me. She left the flap open on her backpack and a notepad from the Kempton Hotel spilled out on the bed. She deceived me for a year and speared me with false allegations. She orchestrated a plot with the help of a senior Trump official to try to have me imprisoned. And now she's written what appears to be a largely fictitious and self-serving account about it all. So yes, I have reason to be annoyed and a little angry. Why revisit the ugly Olivia saga? Why get dragged back into this tabloid mess? Silence was my preference, and Olivia seemed to agree. Last year, she asked to negotiate a non-disclosure agreement. Earlier this year, she sent a message to me via a mutual friend. I will never talk about any of this again, and I hope you'll do the same. I'm not sure if she delivered that before or after she had a publication date for her book, arranged a Vanity Fair excerpt, and secured a profile in the New York Times. Silence no longer seemed advisable or even possible. I stopped to retrieve the papers from the floor and noticed her handwriting on the hotel stationery, which I stacked on her desk. Not that long ago, I had helped her untangle herself from an unusual relationship with Keith Olbermann, the former MSNBC host. She had messaged him out of the blue. They started talking, and soon after, she fled her unhappy home in New Jersey and started living with Keith Olbermann in Manhattan. He paid for her to attend college, outfitted her in $15,000 worth of Cartier jewelry. Later, he covered her rent and furnished her apartment in the West Village. Olbermann was 34 years older than her. He was generous, and there were strings attached. Then they escaped. She got out of that relationship. Keith Olbermann had public attacks on Ryan Litza, the guy who I'm reading his Substack from, and Olivia. Ryan Litza says that he explained that Olivia said that she had felt stalked by Keith after she left him. And we had a strict policy of never engaging with him. Keith Olbermann does not seem to be denying like really any of this either. But he's also Keith Olbermann. So he's like one of those guys you're like, I don't know, man. Keith Olbermann's not some guy. You're always like, oh, what he said is that's what you want. So they'd been through I'm reading from his part one of his Substack, right? We'd both done a lot in a short period. The death of her father, sexual harassment from Trump aides, and her divorce, the Keith Olbermann situation, cycles of breaking up and getting back together again. I tidied up the desk, and then something caught my eye, and I started to read. It says this, quote, if I swallowed every drop of water from the tower above your house, I would still thirst for you. So Ryan Litz is like, okay, well, our house doesn't have a tower above it, so I don't know what that's about. He flipped to another page and saw a name in the first line of an unfinished love letter to a guy that had enough details to confirm a physical relationship with him. It was a famous politician, 32 years older than her, and also well known for another sex scandal. It was presidential candidate Mark Sanford from 2020. Mark Sanford is basically the character from Parks and Rec, if you've ever seen it, Bill Dexhart. Councilman Bill Dexhart, who has a relationship with, he makes up a relationship with Leslie Dope. It's all a big lie. So, like, that's 2020 too, okay? So I'm reading that and I'm like, okay, so this dude just wrote a whole Substack trying to tell us everything about the RFK thing. And he just left it at that she hooked up. She did a report on 2019 on Mark Sanford and then hooked up with him for a year. Okay, who cares about that? Like, that's not that big of a deal. But then 5 days later, we get to November 22nd. November 22nd, also known as the day JFK was assassinated. So it would appear that our guy, Ryan Litza, is being a little petty about this. Okay? Just being a little petty. Now, I'm going to read you part 2 of his Substack that he dropped. And this is where you would shine the warning. You would say, why would I ever let kids listen to Kevin anyways? But here we go. Ryan Litza writes in his Substack, part 2. Your open mouth awaiting my harvest. That's what RFK Jr., the current Secretary of Health and Human Services, had written to Ryan Litza's fiance at the time. Drink from me, love. He continued, I mean to squeeze your cheeks, to force open your mouth. I'll hold your nose as you look up at me to encourage you to swallow. Don't spill a drop. I am a river. You are my canyon. I mean to flow through you. I mean to subdue and tame you, my love. That's what RFK Jr. wrote to Olivia Nutsey. That's the poem. Litza goes on to write, I can't say there weren't any signs. I did find it odd that Olivia was simultaneously reading Robert Greene's The Art of Seduction and Maureen Callahan's book, Ask Not, The Kennedys and the Women They Destroyed. But the poem, let's call it American Canyon, and many others too explicit to print, changed everything. Thanks to RFK Jr., I am now aware of something called felching. These comments are out of control today. They're out of control today. Hello, Steve, Manny. So now Olivia's got this campaign of misinformation about what really happened, and RFK Jr. has denied everything because he's one of the most consequential policymakers in America. Unfortunately, I'm the only person who knows everything. And while sometimes I wish I could unknow it, the least I can do is share the parts I believe you should know too. So that's what Ryan Litza wrote, and that's the end of his Substack travels for me, because I didn't need to see the poem. So Olivia Nutsey's writing a book about her side of the story, doing the series on Vanity Fair. Back in November, the smartest thing she could have done would be lie low and be normal, but she had a big glammed up profile in the New York Times. That's right. There's an article in the New York Times. This is me talking now, and I'm following the outline from the article in the Ringer. So she is promoting this book that comes out, December 2nd? And the piece in the New York Times is called Olivia Nutsey Did It All for Love. It is written by Jacob Bernstein. Jacob Bernstein, the son of Nora Ephron and renowned Watergate journalist Carl Bernstein. That's the guy who wrote this article. Yes, nepotism in the world of journalism. Incredible. The piece portrayed her love for RFK Jr. as passionate and sincere, and it was so over the top, you'd think that the guy who wrote this article in the time was in love with her. This is from the comment section here or whatever of the New York Times, what Jacob Bernstein wrote about his time with her. Too writery for me. Let's just talk like real humans for a second, you know? But whatever. So as we move on, a few days later, after that profile, her book excerpt appears in the Vanity Fair, and then that's when Ryan Litza drops the Substack post with the poem in it and all those details from the poem. The first excerpt from her book, which is going to be called American Canto. It sounds effing terrible. Like sometimes you get good excerpts and they're pretty interesting. She sounds like a horrible writer. Quote, he desired desiring. He desired being desired. He desired desire itself. He said, I would take a bullet for you, which is weird given his family history. Please don't say that, I said. The Mark Sanford thing is wild, too. The poem is crazy. And then what we've also learned today is that wait, the vertical has more? Why is it doing 2 streams? Thank you, Mr. Lifetime Warranty, for helping me on that. That's the second time this has happened in 2 days. I don't understand why. I mean, it's fine. But it's weird. This is something that we've learned today. Because of this article, in the past 24 hours, more Americans have Googled felching than have searched for turkey recipes. We have the chart. We all love statistics on a chart. Now, the felching has dipped down a little in the past couple hours, but that is where we stand today. In the sub-region, hey, man, people have a clear understanding of felching up here. They're like, oh, yeah, we need to wear the turkey recipes. Down here, that's why there's not a lot of great food options up in this part of the world. Here, though, the rest of the country, although a weird one, I'm going to guess is it Delaware or is that New Hampshire? That's Delaware, right? No? Nope. Which one's nut to butt with Maine like that? That's New Hampshire. Yeah, I nailed it. Vermont's the one to the left. So that's New Hampshire. That's Vermont. I knew it. Just trust your instincts. Up here, though, they're like turkey recipes. Felching surpassed searches for Tim Hortons in Canada, too. You love to see this stuff. It's great. We see that we're actually getting... let's see here. This is crazy. This is the weirdest day. It's not my story to tell, my friend. It's not my story to tell. I'm just here to talk about this weird love triangle. I think that's all I have on this story for now, but I think this thing's developing. If you want to get the real good outline, go to the Ringer and check that out. I think that's the one that would tell you what you need to know. For now, I think 30 minutes is good, so let's go ahead and get our bandle on. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it going. If I were to say, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it here. Bandle, where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? You missed a wild story, but you didn't miss much. But you also missed a wild story. You should watch from the beginning. Good to see you, Daniel. One of the good ones out there, Daniel. All right, here we go. Bandle up. We will go and we will know that today is 2007. And they're saying it's an easy one. So let's get it in one. Oops. I didn't mean to skip it. It's that one song. It's like it's like a commercial. It's like a say what you wanna. I want to say like Sarah Bareilles, maybe. Is that crazy? Bareilles. Right? It's that song, right? Steve would know this. It's like in a commercial a lot. Yeah, but that was like 20, like you're close, but that was like 2011. Like that was a few years later. Say what you wanna say. It's something like that. Maybe it was Pink. But it's like I want to see you be real or something. Be real or something. Or something. Oh, God, this is frustrating. Because I think 07 was too early for Roar. Brave. It's Brave. Yeah, it's Brave. It's Brave. Wait. Is it that? Nope. How long does he be brave? What I think syrup. It's so frustrating. They won't let me say it, syrup, bro. It's not. Who's the woman that sings it? Be brave? Oh. It is that song, right? Who was a 2007 popular chick who would do a song like that? Was trying to be inspirational. Let's get the vocals then. This is where Steve shines, right here. There you go. That's 2 in a row for my wife. Kicking all y'all's ass. Tough one. Tough one today. I figured out how to do something yesterday, though. What's today? November 20. Let's see. I've got some Strip Mall Steve clips, so let's just play that while he's here with us today. Oh, also, Marcus Simeon was traded. So I've got a Marcus Simeon clip. So we can have a little fun with that, and then we'll get the hell out of here. Enjoy a day. Share screen. How about this? Marcus Simeon traded to the Mets the other day.
When they showed, did a close-up on Simeon in the dugout, and you could read his lips. He goes, "It was my batting glove. My batting glove."
He does have a lot of crap in his back pocket there. If you look at it, though, that is a big
wallet.
Well, he needs his materials. Is those his keys? Those are his keys to his Wagoneer. You can see it. Dude, it's one finger of the batting glove.
Did you see the headline in the morning news?
Nope.
Astros finger themselves to a Game 4 win.
God.
Couldn't believe it.
Who's that headline writer over there?
Might be the Dingu Morning News pull-out edition you're talking about.
Now, for reference, that picture was the famous double play where Marcus Simeon got tagged because he had his batting glove in his back pocket. That was crazy. He had the batting glove in his back pocket, and they tagged that, not his butt, and it ended up being a double play. All's fine. We won the World Series, and hopefully he has a good career in New York. I sincerely mean that. Seems like a nice guy. Next, Strip Mall Steve has so many jokes on audio that I haven't heard in a long time. So this says, Steve joke, and Ben doesn't know Jonah and the whale.
A new documentary is telling the tale of the man who survived being in a whale's mouth. Talk to me.
How big was she?
It was only a matter of time who would get there first. I can't believe he beat you to that.
I'm impressed. I think he did a good job.
Well done. A new documentary is telling the tale of a man who said he was nearly swallowed by a whale.
Hot.
And I'm like, how do you make a whole movie,
Dude.
about a guy that got swallowed by a whale?
There's a whole Bible story about it, Ben.
Yeah, Ben.
Yeah, Ben.
Yeah. Yep.
Come on, dude.
Big Jonah fan.
I'm aware. But I don't understand how there's a whole movie.
Okay. And then lastly, this says, Skin says use your mouth, and Steve doubles down. Yikes.
She says, every new relationship, you have a new scent. You make sure that your body wash, your candles, your perfume all have that same scent. So if you guys break up and he smells that out somewhere else, they're going to immediately think of you anytime they smell that.
And I want to get back to the story. I think that girl, I know we have to go, I think that girl is overthinking this. If you want every person you date to remember you forever, it's going to involve your mouth.
Or your butt.
You said
Steve?
You said you've told me this before. What is You're an idiot. All right, this is the world famous Ben and Skin
Steve?
show. He's also an idiot.
Good job,
Christina's
Christina.
the only good thing about this show.
Look at her in there.
Steve was pretty quick there to pile on. That's pretty good. Let's got one more, Steve, and then I'll go. I swear.
All right. And last sign that you might be a porn addict, if you're withdrawing from your partner in real life and sexual situations.
Okay.
and you're going to porn instead of actually having real life sex with the person that you're
I
with.
thought the reason you withdraw in a sexual situation is to make sure there's no pregnancy.
That's why I've always done it, and it rarely works.
What?
Is that how you want to end the segment?
I kind of do.
With that?
I think I do.
I stand by it.
He should stand by it. He has 2 kids. Good job, Steve. I don't know why I had double screens. I'm going to need to figure that out moving forward. It's definitely something. Thank you to that hobby kid, Sean, for popping in today on this very edgy stream. Thank you to Mr. Lifetime Warranty for being here. Watching vertically. Is that what that means? I don't understand that part of it. We're going to have to really figure that out. But other than that, I hope everyone's had a good time. Might do something tomorrow. Probably not. Might. Who knows? Live parade coverage. Let's see if Strip Mall Steve's down to do some live parade coverage tomorrow morning. I doubt it. But maybe. Go Mean Green. We are best of again 3 to 6 on the radio side as well. Also, check out my podcast, the One Star Cowboys podcast. If you like the Cowboys, play the Chiefs tomorrow. We also have the SNL After Party podcast as well. If you like Saturday Night Live. You know what? I actually don't. That's funny because it's a drop that ends the show a lot, and I don't remember the context of it. I know Christina pulled the drop, but it's a funny question. Okay. Kick ass, everybody. Bye.